Good happy Saturday morning is Saturday, April 18, 2026. I'm Riley King and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of WRMK News 12. Welcome to your morning newscast. We got a lot of news to get to on this Saturday morning, so let's begin right now. First up, dozens displaced after Manchester apartment fire. No injuries reported. Approximately 60 residents have been displaced after a fire destroyed an apartment building on Beach Hill Avenue Friday night, according to local officials. The American Red Cross is assisting those affected in securing temporary housing. Manchester Fire Chief Ryan Cashin said emergency calls began coming in at approximately 9:08 p.m., with fire crews arriving to the scene within 4 minutes. More than 100 personnel responded to battle the blaze. Witnesses in the area reported hearing screams shortly before 9 p.m. and then seeing flames engulfing the building. Huge flames, just bright orange, one neighbor said. 4 or 5 windows shattered, and it didn't look like it was slowing down at all. It was really scary. Despite the intensity of the fire, no residents or firefighters were injured, Chief Cashin confirmed. Fire crews also rescued 6 cats from the building. One was transported to an emergency veterinarian clinic on Brown Avenue. All of the animals are expected to recover. Elite field gathers in New England ahead of the historic 130th Boston Marathon. The world's top distance runners have arrived in New England as preparation intensifies for the 130th Boston Marathon, set to take place Monday under potentially frigid conditions. Members of the professional field met with media Friday, offering a preview of the competition and reflecting on past performances. Among them was defending women's champion Sharon of Kenya, who expressed confidence heading into this year's race. Notably absent from the field is 2024 winner Helen, who will not compete. Sharon enters the race following a standout performance last year when she broke the course record after pulling away from Helen in the final stretch. She recalled the emotional finish, where she was greeted by her mother at the finish line. I remember crossing, and all I could think about who was waiting for me at the end, Sharon said Friday. Being able to break the record was amazing. The women's field is widely regarded as one of the deepest in recent years, with a strong contingent of American runners expected to contend. Meanwhile, on the men's side, defeating champion John of Kenya returns with hopes of securing back-to-back titles. His 2025 victory carried historically significance as he joined his brother Wellesley, the 2012 champion, to become the first sibling to win the Boston Marathon. It feels good to be back in Boston, John said. We are now only two brothers who have won Boston, so I'm trying hard to make it three this year, if everything goes well on Monday. Race organizers and athletes are also preparing for challenging weather conditions. Forecasters indicate temperatures may only reach the 40s, raising the possibility of one of the coldest Boston marathons on record. Stories of strength and legacy define the 130th Boston Marathon. As approximately 30,000 runners prepare to take in the 130th Boston Marathon, the race once again brings together athletes whose personal stories reflect on perseverance, community, and decades of traditions. Among them is Karen, a veteran runner set to compete her 14th Boston Marathon, traveling from Phoenix area along her friend Debbie, who is running her 12th. Karen's journey spans more than 4 decades of distance running. Karen began running at the age of 19 before the passage of Title IX and completed her first marathon in 1979. She recalls a very different Boston Marathon experience when she first competed in 1983. There were maybe 6,000 people, about 8,000 women, Karen said. The race started at noon, and there were no t-shirts or anything like that. Now, in 2026, Karen has competed more than 100 marathons and has spent years monitoring and coaching runners, helping to guide many women toward their first Boston Marathon finish. One of the runners inspired by that legacy is Charlotte Hogan, who is preparing to run her first Boston Marathon while raising funds for McLean Hospital, a psychiatric facility based in Belmont. Charlotte Hogan said, "I started running a couple years ago after battling an eating disorder, and they helped me recover." Hogan said, "I really wanted to run this for them and fundraise for the hospital. That made me healthy again." For Karen, the Boston Marathon represents more than just a race. It is a shared experience that connects generations of runners. It's the electricity you feel that keeps you coming back, she said. "I coached runners for 30 years and brought many of them here to run their first Boston and qualify. That was probably the more fulfilling part for me." As runners from across the country and around the world gather in Boston, stories like these continue to define the enduring spirit of one of the world's most iconic races. Loudoun police seek public's help in locating a missing juvenile. The Loudoun Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in locating a missing juvenile. Authorities identified the individual as Lily Costello. Details about her circumstances of her disappearance were not immediately released. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is urged to contact the Loudoun Police Department at 603 228 1631. Wilton police investigate incident involving teacher burning students' test. Police in Wilton are investigating after a 6th grade teacher allegedly set students' math test on fire inside a classroom at Wilton Linderborough Middle High School. In an email sent to parents last week, the teacher apologized for the incident, stating that the papers were ignited and then extinguished in a sink with running water. The teacher also said no students were in danger at any point. Some parents, however, expressed concerns about the situation and questioned the safety of the classroom environment. I would consider starting a fire in a classroom as endangering the welfare of a child, said one parent of a 6th grade student. According to the teacher's email, the action was reportedly in response to poor test performance. One parent said the teacher appeared to be attempting to make a point by burning the exams. Parents said they sought answers from school administrators, including the principal, superintendent, and the New Hampshire Department of Education, but have received limited information. We don't know anything else, one parent said. Nobody is contacting us, and it seemed like it wasn't being treated as a big deal. The concerns prompted some families to contact local police, who confirmed an investigation is underway. Several parents said they believe disciplinary actions should be taken. One parent also raised the concerns about the broader classroom environment, saying their child has been hesitant to seek help. My daughter struggles in that classroom and has told the school counselors she's afraid to ask for help because she doesn't want to get in trouble, the parent said. Now we understand why. The school confirmed the teacher remains employed at the district. The teacher has not responded to requests for comment. The district officials declined to comment further on the situation. Survey reveals widespread teacher concern over Oyster River superintendent. A recent survey conducted by the Oyster River Teachers Guild indicate a significant lack of confidence among educators in Superintendent Robert Shapes, raising concern among families in the Oyster River Cooperative School District. The Guild, which represents teachers across all schools in the district, report that 160 of its 212 members participated in the survey. According to the result, 88% of respondents said they have no confidence in Shape's leadership. Additionally, 94% said they believe he does not act in the best interest of staff, while 92% reported concerns about the district's culture and climate under his leadership. Shapes has served as superintendent since July of 2024. During that time, the Teachers Guild said it has filed multiple grievances against him, a notable increase compared to just one grievance filed over the previous 30 years. In a letter to families, Shapes acknowledged the survey results and said he is taking the feedback seriously. He emphasized that open communication, mutual respect, and a shared focus on students' success are essential moving forward. The Teachers Guild said its concerns extend beyond budget or staffing issues, describing them as rooted in broader challenges related to leadership, communication, collaboration, and workplace culture. Shapes said he was disappointed the survey results were released publicly before being discussed directly with him. The Guild, however, stated it presented the findings to the school board in March. The superintendent said he plans to hold meetings with staff in the coming weeks to address concerns and improve the work environment. In March, Shapes also announced his intention to retire at the end of the next school year. Iran declares Strait of Hormuz opens as Trump claims nuclear consequences. Iran has announced that the Strait of Hormuz is completely open to commercial shipping, signaling a potential easing of tensions in the region following a temporary ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump welcomed the development, saying Iran has agreed to significantly consequence as part of the ongoing negotiations, including handling over its nuclear materials. However, Iranian officials have not confirmed those claims and in some cases have denied that any such agreement has been reached. The reopening of the critical waterway through which a significant portion of the world's oil supply passes has already impacted global markets, with oil prices dropping aimed hopes to reduce disruptions. Despite the announcement, uncertainty remains. Iran has indicated the move is tied to a fragile ceasefire and warned the strait could be closed again if tensions escalate or if a U.S. naval blockage continues. Diplomatic talks between the two countries are ongoing with key issues, including Iran's nuclear power program and sanction relief is still unresolved. And that does it for this Saturday morning edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and have a great rest of your Saturday. Goodbye, everyone.